everyone, it's Zadira. We're on the Ragnarok map with Survival Plus mod in Ark Survival Evolved. And last episode we talked about how we had first come on the new server, the Mystic Mayhem server. And I shared a little bit about Survival Plus, but I have leveled up to level 15 now, so I'm able to actually talk about a little bit more. Let me show you our engrams that we've learned so far. I think I talked about the stone knife last time. That's really important for harvesting your animals so that you can get small bones. And you need small bones for doing a lot of things. We have the wooden spindle. We have the bone needle. We have plant string. Those are all new things that are not in vanilla Ark. You have to have a primitive chisel, a primitive hammer, a bone knife, primitive sewing kits, sharpened bone. All of those things are needed in Survival Plus that you don't have in regular vanilla Ark. I'm going to show you a little bit. As I've leveled up, I was able to open the pottery wheel, and that's how you make clay. And so you have to have a clay shaper, you have to have the wooden bucket, you have to have a mortar and pestle, and you have to have water skins. So let me show you. I have a couple set up. We're using these for our community. Our community tent city is way up there on a rock, but it's kind of easy to have your pottery wheel near water. And at the beginning, it's just easier just to put it down here anywhere near a body of water. We're going to attempt to think about, with the official Survival Plus, Echo has made some of her mods, the RP decor mod and the, let's see, let me think. Here we go. The furniture and decor crafting table, which is in the RP decor, and the Echo food tray, which is part of that. And then also the Echo stable structure and decor crafting. She has modified that somewhat, or I don't know if the Survival Plus people, somehow they've worked together and we're able to use those mods so that we do have more decorating type items. And in one of her mods, in her Echo food tray, she does have a water bucket, and we're hoping we'll be able to use the water bucket with the piping system, and we won't have to be near a body of water. But I'm not sure. We haven't experimented with that yet, but that's what we're hoping. So in order to make clay, you're going to need a couple of things in order to store your food so that it lasts longer. And so what you have to do is you go to your mortar and pestle, and let's do this. We'll take the buckets and stick it down in our toolbar, and then we'll also have our water skins in our toolbar. And so what we'll do is we'll go over here, and you stand in the water and you click, that's kind of glary, isn't it? Hope it's not too glary. Click your number 7, and that fills up your water skin, number 8, number 9, and number 0. And then we're going to fill up our buckets with dirt. So you go up here where usually around trees, and you click I can click my number 6, and if you see on the side, on the left hand side, it'll say added 1 bucket of soil. So I had 4 buckets, so now I should have 4 buckets of soil. Then you go down here and you put those in your mortar and pestle. So put all your water skins in. Let's see, I think you can click T. There we go. And then our 4 buckets of soil, and then that lets your clay engram pop up. So let's go ahead and craft all 4 of those. You can see you can also make bone meal out of bones. You can make you can do ground titanoma or myrna. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but you get those out of anthills. And then you also have your lard ointment, which is good for soothing pain. And all of these you can make in the mortar and pestle. Different things that you can do that are different. And see, like here's, of course, everybody knows that anytime you play Ark, you have to play with poop. right? And so you can put poop in here also. Those are all survival plus things that you can do. And this is like a medium one, and you're going to grind the poop and you're going to try and find seeds. So that's kind of fun. All right, so we have our clay. So let's take the clay out, and I just leave the water skins and the buckets in here for the next person if they want to use it. It's just easier to leave them in here. And then you have your pottery wheel. So you open the pottery wheel and you're able to put your clay in, and you can see we can make a fresh food storage pot, and that's made from fresh clay. It needs to be burned before it can be used. And then you can also make a storage pot. So let's see, it takes 16 clay for the storage pot, and it takes 8 clay for the food storage pot. I have a food storage pot, so I'm going to go ahead and make one of the storage clay pots, and I'll show you what that looks like. And so your pottery wheel creates your little pot. So I place the fresh clay storage pot in my inventory, and then it says it needs to be burned before it can be used. So we have to actually put it in a fire and burn it, just like you would put pottery in a kiln to harden it before you use it, and that bakes it. So we've made that, and that shows you really very clearly a lot of the difference in what you have to do in Survival Plus. That's just the bare minimum of some of the neat things that you can do. There are so many things, and it all ties in together. It's like you need a needle and thread to sew your clothes. You need, speaking of that, I'll show you what we have. We're going to have, first we have, the first structure that you have is a tent. And we've all made us a tent, and we have a tent city. And then there's the pottery wheel. We finally were able to make our clothes, and that was out of hide strips, and plant string. And to do that you had to have bones, needles made out of bones, sharpened bones, bone knife, primitive sewing kits, all that kind of thing. It all works together. I've opened the primitive loom and have not put that down yet, so that'll probably be in the next episode to show how you use all those items. You can make burlap clothes, I believe is the next level of clothing. These look like the regular hide clothing that we have in Ark, but they don't have near the armor or the durability. So they look the same, but they're really probably less than what our cloth clothes are. So you really need to go ahead and make some better clothing pretty quickly. And you can see, I mean, there's a sharpened flint spear. Again, it works similar to the spears in Ark, but you really need to hurry and work up and make better weapons and better armor as you level up. And you can see I've spent probably 8 or 9 hours. I'm only on level 15 and have not gone far at all. I can kind of scroll through here just a little bit to show you what we're going to be excited about opening. And there's the raft. And so you can see there's things all the way through here. And a lot of this is just your elementary things that an individual person can do. Once you reach 30, you're going to open your professions, and there's not a lot of Ingrams after that, but then you'll open your Ingrams for that profession. And same with 45. Once you reach 45, again, you'll open your second level, and on and on. And that's how the Ingrams work in Primitive and Survival Plus. I keep calling it Primitive Plus in Survival Plus. So anyway, I want to show you. I also I didn't even tell you about Killer. If you notice that thing on my shoulder, it's a Pego, and our group, our Mystic Mayhem bunch, we really like taming these guys. They're passive tame, and what you do is you make sure you have either plant parts. Those are as you harvest plants like these. If you notice in my 0 key, I actually put the since I put the water skin in my 0 slot, it's not showing up. So what you do, see, this is what plant parts look like right there. And I have those in my 0 slot. And then if I come across a Pego, he'll attack me, and those will go into his inventory. And that will tame him. So what we like to do is we like to always carry, mayhel berries work the same way. And I think any berries actually. Mayhel berries may work just a little bit better than plant parts, but you have to have a lot for a high level. This guy was 130 level Pego. But what you do is you gather all the Pegos that you can find and tame them, or as we say, they tame us, and because they come and attack us. And then when you go out on an adventure, you can take your army of Pegos, and they might not last a real long time, but if you have enough, and once you get your bow and arrow too, that helps. None of us are at level where we can get our bows and arrows yet. So once you get your bows and arrows, you can actually take down a Rex with a big army of Pegos. And we've been killing Delos, Dilophosauruses, and we've actually killed some sabers, and we've seen some scorpions, but we've been just pretty much just staying around the camp here leveling. But we have had a few incidences with some Rexes coming down toward this way and some sabers, so it's been pretty exciting. But here's our tent village. You can see all the names of all the people. This is Steffi's camp, and here's my camp. And see, here's a pot that someone gave me. One of my friends named Beagle gave me this pot, and he had to cook it in the fire. Let's go ahead and cook this one. Let's see if we have any wood. Yes, we do. And let's light the fire, and then you put the pot in the fire, and in a minute, after a while, it'll be cooked. It's like burning it in a kiln or heating it in a kiln when you make real pottery. So that's pretty cool. These beds, they look so different than what you'd expect in Survival Plus, don't they? They are beds out of the Echo mod, so we went ahead and used those for our beds. They take less resources than the other beds, but so we all put those down. That looks kind of funny out there. This person is already on the level that they're building. They're in the process of building one of the huts, and you lay the hut down and then you add resources to the hut. I am not at that level yet. I don't have enough Ingrams. There you can see a little bit. It says current layer roof. So you add things to the hut, and then after you finish, it will gradually, a hut will be here after a while. So it's really neat how you have to actually gather your resources and add them to the hut layer. At first you do your walls and then the roof on these smaller huts. So that's really neat the way they've set that up. Here's Rav's play. Oh no, let's see, who's this? Oh, Elmo, I'm sorry, that's Elmo. And then I think this might be Rav. Let's see. This is, nope, that's Bosco. And this is Rav. Rav actually has found a baby parasaur and was able to grow it into a full-grown parasaur. If you can find babies that aren't totally protected by their parents, if you can get them safely, you can. They grow really fast, and they hatch out of eggs. And sometimes you can find eggs in nests, and you're able to grow. I think it's parasaurs and Dilophosaurus, Delos, and I think maybe Compies maybe have babies. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I know Delos and parasaurs for sure will lay eggs in nests, and if you're able to find them and escape safely, because boy, howdy, I just walked by a baby. I didn't see it till it was too late, and I had 4 parasaurs on me, and I had to have Beagle save me because all 4 of those parasaurs at once just, oh my gosh, that was terrible. So here's Beagle's hut he's building, and so different people are different levels. This is looks like a dodo army. I almost wonder, the fact that these dodos are here, they were in Steffi's tent And the fact that I bet something happened here because all these guys are here instead of where they should be. We're going to end the episode right here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't wait to figure out what happened. Maybe I'll know at my next episode and I can share that with you. All right, we'll see you next time. We definitely will go over a lot more of the Survival Plus items. So for now, bye.